some really high percentage shots. I think Ian is improving every day out. The last hurdle for him right now, he's cut down his turnovers. You see in the court. Last thing is to just really enjoy contact on the glass. Can you get a tough girlfriend or something? And let her beat you up? Can you? Bryce is the more he moves, the better he is, because he really understands the game. Never doubted him for a second, but they're doing a terrific job. One thing about us is we don't panic. We don't pay attention to any nonsense about where we are. We're just trying to get better each day. We know come March we think we'll be a good basketball team, but we still have a long way to go. We still have a lot of growth to make, but we are growing as a basketball team. We're practicing real hard. Sure, you can be disappointed that you lose a game, but I haven't been disappointed one day with these guys because they give me 100% every practice. They play hard. They don't always play well, but they play hard. And I think they're a decent to good basketball team that has the potential to take it to a new level. So I'm happy with that. Pleased that we get a nice Christmas vacation with a win. And really happy with his growth as a basketball player. I got to constantly stay on him. He doesn't understand certain terms of a point guard that he's getting. But it's not easy to go from a scoring guard to a point guard. But he's doing it in great fashion. Proud of him.
Rick, what did you think of Bryce today? He obviously the last few games, I'm sure he just wanted to play better. It seemed like he was more aggressive, especially late first half. And you've obviously talked a lot about wanting him to be that alpha.
Bryce is highly, highly intelligent. So he knows. I don't even have to tell him. He knows it. I really think that when you come off any injury and you're not used to playing a game, it just takes a little time to get back in the action, even though he was practicing a little bit of Providence. But he'll get it. I don't doubt it for 1 minute. He'll get it. He has certainly, I think if he moves more, he'll get more shots. I don't like him hesitating when he's wide open. I want him shooting the ball, thinking I can make the next 5 or 7. But all our guys do that. It's not just him. Now he doesn't. He doesn't. He just jacks it up.
Rick, you obviously detailed the struggles defensively in the second half against Kentucky to start tonight. 14 of 21 and then 9 shots for the rest of the game. What did you see kind of turn in your defense?
I think what our guys don't realize, like when we were up against Auburn, I was outside and all I could hear from the coaches, they're punking us. And I said, guys, when you're playing in 98% of the arena is Kentucky and you've held them to 25 points, that's embarrassing for them. They're going to come out at a new level. So we've got to come out at a new level. I think that's another lesson they've learned coming out of the locker room, because all our guys were saying, pay no attention to the lead. Come out in the second half and play great defense.
Rick, when you approached Bryce about the idea of the term you used of changing his personality, how receptive was he to it, and how did he hear it?
I don't really have to tell him that. He knows it. He's heard it way before me. He's a person that is highly intelligent, and he has to know he has to talk more. He knows that. He knows we're relying on him as a leader. But look, he's a very talented young man with great skills. He's just getting used to coming back, and he's doing it. And he'll be that alpha. There's no doubt in my mind. I think you asked me when can people change? Yes, they can between the lines. They can, and then they've got to be who they are away from the lines. And he knows that. If he wasn't highly intelligent, I would say probably not going to do it. But he's so highly intelligent that I know he can do it.
Yeah, this is just I don't know if it's really our observation, but Jackson looked like he was a really good on-ball defender in the first half. Can you sort of describe the way that he's come along as a defensive player?
Yes, he's now the next thing he's got to learn is he denying the man the ball. He found out about pre-switching tonight. And then once a guy catches the ball, just learn to dog him, but beat him to the spot rather than bump him. Look, I'm real proud of him. I get on him hard because I love him. I want him to be a great player. And to go from a 2 guard to a point guard in a short window of time is not easy, but he's such a great guy. I love him so much that I'm going to stay on him. And I just got to get him to be a little tougher on the backboard because he's so long and jumps so well.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, guys. Everybody have a happy holiday. Thanks for your coverage. These guys will take it from here. Thanks, Bryce.
I got it.
Bryce, what did you think of how you played tonight, and what do you think maybe you haven't been doing as well as you should have the last 5 or so games?
I think I did okay tonight. Obviously, there's always room for improvement, but I think I was just more focused on what Coach was telling me to do, to come out with effort, not focus on scoring as much, focus on the defensive end more, and then that's going to lead to my offense and stuff like that. So I'm pretty much these past couple of days in practice, I've just been focusing on my effort, playing every possession like it's my last, and from there the game's just going to be that much more easier.
Bryce, Coach Pitino has sort of talked about this personality change kind of thing.
Yeah.
When he approached you with the idea, how did that land with you?
It was fine. That's what I came here for. I knew it wasn't going to be easy coming here. I know what type of coach Coach P is. He's a legend in the game, and I came here to be pushed. So whatever that is, I know he's seen great players, he's coached great players, and he knows what it takes to be a great player. So whatever he expects from me, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities. If that means changing my personality, I'm going to do it. I'm bought into the team.
The other thing I was going to ask you about is you sort of suggested that the time away from being bothered or injured. Do you think that it's been? Do you feel like you're still coming back and embracing the physicality of it, or?
Maybe a little bit, not too much. It definitely has been a uphill battle sometimes. Coming back and just getting my feet right. Embracing those bumps. For the first time in so long. But I think every day in practice and the work that we put in the summer, I've been able to take some of those bumps and embrace that contact and stuff like that. So it's gonna come as the season goes on, and I'm just looking forward to keep on getting better one day at a time.
One for each of you. Bryce, kind of to that point, this is kind of the first time this season we've heard Coach talk about you and continuing to come back from your injury. Is that still in your mind sometimes when you have a play where you be going through contact? Are you fully set your legs?
Not really. I'm not thinking about it as much. I think more last year when it was my first time coming back, and those couple games I played, I think I was thinking about it more then. But having the whole summer to prepare and practice and keep on getting stronger and stuff like that, building my strength, I think that thought in the back of my mind has definitely gone away, and I'm not thinking about it as much anymore.
And Ian, obviously after the Kentucky game, Coach Pitino was kind of really realistic about the team's point guard situation. Just kind of, what did you make of those comments, and how do you see? He was kind of talking about how the coaching staff didn't really bring in a true point guard this offseason, and how you're kind of filling into that role and continuing to get better. What do you make of continuing to develop as a point guard, and where do you see yourself right now?
Like you coach said, I think I'm getting better every day. I feel like I put in a lot of work, on and off the floor, and watching videos and just preparing myself to get better and do better. But I think the big thing for me and why I think that everything is going in the right direction is my teammates. I think they instill a lot of confidence in me to go out there and be the point guard for us, start the game, and kind of lead the group in that sense. So I think I'm just feeding up for them, letting their confidence fuel me, and going out there and just trying to get better.
Is becoming a point guard harder than you expected?
Not really. I think a lot of it for me is just more natural, just playing the game. But I think that's just things that I obviously need to get better at. I will get better at, but I think it's just going out there and playing. I'm not thinking too deep in, exact point guard and trying to do everything. Point guard, that's really, I'm trying to do what I can do, the best I can do it, and win the game.
For either of you guys, I'm sure you had higher hopes for the non-conference. Where are you guys mentally after Kentucky? What is your belief, and do you feel like you are a better team than you've showed so far?
I think for us, we're fine. I think we got a strong group of guys that understand that everything is not going to be perfect. I think we're at a headspace where it's like next game and what we can do next, and kind of figure it out. So nobody's head down about anything. Obviously, one of the games, but this game's happening already. What's next? And I think that's where all we're going to